All right, so this is Tom Holland talking about the upcoming
This was the
Spider-Man
haircut.
movie.
So he's gonna like ship someone or something in the streets of London.
I think he looks. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not
That's his
sure.
haircut from the video game movie, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
The video game movie.
I'm blanking. My brain fart. Uncharted. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's not what he had in that movie, did he? This
Yeah,
is like a
similar. It's like really.
this is like a bowl cut sort of.
it's
thing.
yeah, it's a recent interview too. But here we
it's
go.
like a
He's
chat.
just standing for Guy Gardner.
Oh my god.
When I signed my contract for Spider-Man 1, I signed a 6-picture deal. I was 18 years old. I was more excited than I'd ever been about.
And that was what was that? So that was 6 pictures. That was a 3. Hold on. What are you?
What three Spider-Man movies?
You paused it so wrong.
So the 3 Spider-Man movies, Infinity War, Endgame, and what was the other one? Civil War. So that was the 6 we did.
Oh, so he's up. So his contract's up now.
Yeah. That's they had to renegotiate with him.
Anything ever. And for the last 10 years, I have been at the beck and call of Marvel and Sony. And proudly so. It's been the best experience of my life. I'm now at a juncture where I can say no. And now that I've been afforded that power, I am struggling to figure out what is the right thing to do.
Oh.
It's meant I've had to put my foot down in certain instances, which I haven't been allowed to do in the past. And I think the learning curve that I'm on right now is dealing with that new sense of power, making sure that I don't abuse it, but making sure that I do the best thing for me rather than for the studio.
I'm British.
So what do we think about that? Before we get into the rest of this, what are the thoughts?
I think it's a good thing for him to do, but at the same time, like, don't like completely go away from the studio.
To be honest, I don't think he. Obviously, he's got like maybe like contractual negotiation like power to a tiny bit of an extent. But at the end of the day, if he was like, "Oh, I want too much money," Marvel would be like, "Okay, Miles Morales, guess who's getting an early debut?" Because that's what they'd probably do, and they just go down that path if they really wanted to. If it was going to be like really, and also I think like I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man, but he does fucking nothing outside of Spider-Man. Every single time he's tried to do something, it doesn't work. Like the only thing
so you're not a Tom Holland fan, is what you're saying?
Well, no, because he chooses. Like I think half of it is probably him, and half of it is his agent. But he picks some awful things to be in. What's
funny is he actually like. There's been like a trend where all the MJs are tennis players, and all the Peter Parkers are Marines, and every single one had from Tobey Maguire to Andrew Garfield to him have been in a Marine movie.
I'm not too sure what that had to do with anything, but
I just thought it was funny.
He was in like not like the movies he's been haven't been very. The only one that was like decently watchable was Uncharted, but another franchise, another Sony thing. So, and that like he was in that show that wasn't like, and that obviously like I didn't watch it, but apparently just wasn't very good. I watched the Apple movie he did with the Russo brothers. That was arse. Yeah, that was arse. Just because he didn't really suit it either. Like, you didn't really believe that he was that character and the way they wanted to portray it. But maybe that's in the back of his mind as well. And I don't know if he says it in the interview, but it'd be like, Spider-Man is his thing. But at the same time, it's just like, if the stuff he'd done outside of Spider-Man was a bit more successful or a bit more well-received, then maybe he would have the power completely. Yeah. But if I was him, I'd probably hire a new agent that knows how to pick a good project, because some people literally thrive in Hollywood because their agents pick them good projects.
Yes.
I can tell you someone who's really good at it, who must have like the best agent in the world, Chris Pratt. Everything he's in is at least decent. Like nothing he's in is arse.
I will say like the best place for him to drop out of Marvel would be after Secret Wars. Like they can reboot the whole franchise of him.
I think, I mean, just to go back for a second, like the amount of responsibility it must be for an 18-year-old to be like, okay, you're going to be
6 movie deal. Yeah.
You're going to be playing Spider-Man for 6 upcoming movies. That must be the weirdest, like, I guess pressure and the weirdest like responsibility to be like, oh my gosh, I have this whole thing shrouded out in front of me, so I can 100% get the feeling of like, okay, now I'm free to do what I want. Now I can, explore. I can do my own company. I can try this project. What he did it. He's recently doing a new TV show. He's doing various different things.
Mm.
I actually think it's good to kind of take it one film at a time to be like, okay, we're doing Spider-Man 4. All right, do that. And then after that, obviously they're probably going to get him down for those 2 Avengers movies. That will be 7, 8, 9, right? If he does Spider-Man 4, Avengers 5, Avengers 6, that's already 9 movies.
And they're already planning for a trilogy for the new trilogy. So he's got Spider-Man 4 and 5.
We don't technically know that though. Like, yeah, maybe.
No, she has already said that there is a trilogy.
Yes, but
but you don't know how Tom Holland has looked the same age for the past 10 years. You don't know how he's going to change over the next 5 years. And also, like, if he does another deal, like, that's going to include presumably both those Avengers movies and maybe something else. Of course, like, if he showed up as like a small part, and that can be like an individually thing outside of the contract.
I'm not saying like he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to be in those trilogies, but there is a trilogy. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, it could be Miles Morales.
I think unless they sign him on for another trilogy, they're movie by movie, most likely. Unless he signs another package deal.
Like, they can want to do a trilogy. That doesn't mean it's technically going to happen. Like, anything could happen from now in between Spider-Man, what would it be, 5, whenever they get to that point. I definitely think Miles is coming. What I would do if I was them, if I was Marvel at the moment, I would do, all right, Spider-Man 4, Avengers 5, Avengers 6, that's totally fine. I would do Spider-Man 5, but I would plan for Spider-Man 5 to be the last one just in case. And I would have that one be the like Peter and Miles show.
Well, we already know that Marvel is okay with doing 4th movies. We had Thor, a 4th Thor movie, and now we're getting a 4th Captain America movie.
And
so
I will say, like, it's going to be, if they want to like merge Peter into Miles, I think they need to do it the right way, and so it's not like they're replacing him. It needs to be like a kind of like soft transition throughout the years to where people agree with Miles.
Well, that's why I think I think they have to do it Insomniac style, where they are both Spider-Man at the same time, even if we're not technically seeing Miles or seeing Peter.
I'll tell you what, though, the far right won't be very happy with that transitioning and a black Spider-Man. Like, it's like,
oh my god!
All right, let's be very happy with that.
Listen a bit more of this clip here.
And really, the best thing for the character. I don't want to make another movie for the sake of making it.
The studio wants you to make another Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, they do. And I want to make another one. I want to make.
I don't want to turn into a discussion, but I don't want to turn into a discussion, but I just want to point out, Spider-Man, the Spider-Man movies have been some of the most profitable movies for Marvel and Sony. So of course they want him to make another Spider-Man movie. I don't think that's in question at all. Also, I don't know if the podcast host, because I'm not sure. I think this was a podcast for him to talk about his beer.
Well, yeah, I can see that stupid non-alcoholic beer sitting there. Yeah. So I think it's
so. I don't know if he truly understands the linchpin that Spider-Man is when it comes to Marvel. If Tom does not come back, they will find a way to continue Spider-Man.
Yeah,
100%.
Well, if the thing is, if he doesn't do it, guess what? They've got coming up. They've got Secret Wars coming up, which is effectively a reboot. So,
and Andrew Garfield's already said he's ready. Like, he's ready to come back.
It's not even that. So. Like, they could easily just get another person, because at the end of the day, there's enough people that look like Peter Parker to play Peter Parker, or if they want to, they can just make it the Miles Morales.
That's what I'm saying. There's options. There's options out there. So, all right.
Many more, but I want to do it for the right reasons. And now, like I said to you earlier, sometimes I miss the day when getting the job was the win. Navigating and figuring out what having that kind of power means and that responsibility. And I'm figuring it out. I'm speaking to people and asking questions, and I've been speaking to Downey a lot, but it is something that keeps me up at night, and I'm constantly thinking of, like, is this the right thing to do?
I will say this, now that RDJ is coming back as Dr. Doom, I can guarantee he's trying his best to convince Tom to sign back on, because we know they like working with each other. So I think there's probably a little bit of.
He also confirmed he wants to do many more Spider-Mans.
Yeah. So. But he seems like he wants the quality over the quantity.
Yeah.
And that can be a good thing. But then you also look at Blade and you see like what's happening with that. So.
Am I going to do justice to the character?
Oh, sorry. What were you going to say, Darren?
No, I was just saying like many more could also just mean Spider-Man 4, Avengers 5, Avengers 6.
Yeah.
Like that is still many more technically.
Yeah, I mean, look, getting, like you said, the win was getting hired in the first place back in the day. You got a movie, great, you're in a movie. Now we're talking about a multi-picture deal is what people are looking for. So,
am I going to do justice to the fans? I definitely don't want to just make a movie for the sake of it, because that's not what Spider-Man represents.
All right, there we go.